Yo, what is good, my anime people? What is good, yo? Guys, Kimito and his wifey are back, but it is not all rainbow and sunshines with this reunion, which honestly, for me, the show is kind of weird um, in the regards of how the whole Kimito thing is even working. Um, in the case of how else is he going to come back? You know, like what aren't the people doing in the computer room, or what could they do to help him? You know, so in this situation where they're straight up still, excuse me, there's still a battle going on outside, right? Like there's still an overall heated thing going on in the real world and in this, this world that they created. But the problem with this is the battle that's going on inside sounds like it's come to a halt because of for why, you know? Like why aren't they pushing these people and trying to still take them out? Why aren't they trying to get into this room anymore where, a lot of them are hiding and could easily give you some information that you may need, or even change the outcome of how things are to make things move faster in the alternate world. All of those things are kind of questionable, but at the same time, because they're already hacked in and using very high tier gods characters, I guess that might have been about all they could do, regardless of needing the help of these other people. But now that they were allowed to send in Asuna, it really makes no sense why they wouldn't keep pressing the attack just for that such an occasion to arise. Like, what if they stopped the attack altogether, and everybody in that room besides one person who had to operate went inside and all had high tier godly characters, so it's almost as if because these people are from BBO, or they're from, the virtual reality as well, they've been in it and they player kill in it, that because they're going into another virtual reality, it was going to be nothing, right? Like it was just going to be child's play. They come in here, they do what they got to do, and they get out real quick. That's all it was supposed to be. And now it's turning into like this longer, drawn out conference that it's actually becoming days. Like it's actually a whole, like cycle of a day has gone by of this battle being commenced. So it's stuff like that that really kind of makes me enjoy and make me look so much forward to seeing what they're going to drop on us next, because they're straight up, getting this moment to learn so much about Kimito and what he's done. It's kind of sad though, because this moment felt very lackluster to me because of it's already happened. This has already happened, right? Like, um, every single time Kimito adds a girl to his group, or Asuna meets the people that he's meeting, they usually get more of the story from her than anybody, or the ladies always get to hear from each other their perspectives of how they were spending time with him, is what I'm getting at. And that's what I felt immediately when I saw this, and I was like, it just feels like I watched up to this point into the show to see that the old parts of the previous generations of the shows, or the previous arcs, are still bleeding in very heavily in this show. It still shows, like, if you thought Sword Art is completely in a new lane and it's doing amazing stuff and nothing can touch it in the case of how innovative it is, there are very, very clear cut signs of old versions of the show being in here. Old just parts and stuff like that in general. So it's one of those things where you kind of just take it or leave it, and then once you've taken it, you kind of just look. I was almost about to look past it until I thought about it. I was like, Hasn't Asuna done this like 5 times? She's probably getting so tired of telling his story because everybody wants to know his story, and her story just happens to be attached, so you get to learn a little bit of her. But no one's like, oh, Asuna, tell us more about you. They're like, oh, tell us more about this amazing guy that has done so much for us. And since I guess you are claiming to be amazing too and knowing him, I guess you can tell us. And you know how Kimito is. You don't want to tell nobody nothing unless he's got knives pointed at him and someone else being taken hostage. Like, he ain't gonna tell you squat unless somehow you found out about it and he feels kind of bad for not letting you in. Stuff like that. And it's kind of funny that the only way any of these girls are gonna learn, you know, who he is or who he was or how he is more or less through their experience with him and through Asuna. That's about the short and end of it. If you want to learn about Kimito, go to his Guardian, Speaker and Guardian. So Keeper and Guardian, excuse me. But overall, the show is looking up, and with Asuna having some limitations on her powers, so it's not like she can just spam away this whole entire army. Which, I mean, to be fair, if she caught that little, oh, that's what this feels like when I use my power, she's still slapping everybody, okay? If that's the long and short of a headache that she's gonna quote unquote get for the rest of the time, but she did say she could probably use it once or twice, meaning it could get worse and she doesn't know. Like, the first headache she got was probably just, hey, chill out. And if she pushes it further, which she doesn't get as much time to recover, and this world is so weird where the only way to really get any magic, or as you saw Alice, was absorbing the essence from people dying. That's like where the magic truly uh, resonates from, that you don't already have built up from yourself. So to get stronger attacks, to be able to achieve some of these things, you would need that in the air. And it even makes more sense why all of the knights could probably fight so well in the Pontiff's castle. Is probably because there's so much death happening there all the time. There's a concentrated amount of magic that everybody was getting. Not only that, there's people who she had on standby to just become swords. That would be 100% the art, you know, 100% the magic that they use with their swords. So, I don't know. There's still so much to be said in this overall arcing of the background and everything that's popping off, but the way they're handling it as of right now, they're just focusing on what's in front of them, and it's really smart because of that, there's a chance that this show may go on in the case of after this war for whatever reason. I don't know why, but that's the type of feeling I have from this type of show, though, you know? Like, that's crazy to me to think that this huge battle, this whole thing of getting Kimito back on his feet, and then it becoming this, seems like it's probably going to end there, right? But with how things are playing out, with how Kimito is still in his state of mind and in his position, it doesn't feel like that would make any sense for him to be capable of leaving anytime soon, unless once he finally comes back and off his ex machina reason, we get to just see, you know, what the heck was going on in his mind, like how much he was conscious for, how much he could actually witness, if he could witness it all at all. Um, and then the fact that how good is he going to be as soon as he just gets back to who he is and whatnot? Because if you think about it, this whole entire show was invented, or this whole entire world, for Kimito's purpose of being in it, was to get him back up to his normal self after the attack. And after he you know, pretty much accomplishes that, but then has these two people that are embedded in his heart, like family practically now, Alice and Ugo. Excuse me. It puts into perspective now how much he's lost in every situation that he's always goes through. I mean, to be fair, he didn't lose a whole lot in the very first arc, but it felt like he was losing a lot, right? I mean, he felt the pain of losing Asuna to have her back, so I don't think you could really count that, you know. But Regardless, the show itself, with Kimito out of it, is still relatively interesting and pretty gory and gritty. But with him back, I feel like people will definitely have more of an understanding where the story should be going with him being at the front run again instead of Alice. But with Alice as it's still up in the air to what could happen to her, right? Like, it sounds if they get her, everything shuts down and it's going to be bad, but it sounds if she wins, everything just goes back to normal, I guess. But we'll see. Let me know in the comments down below, my anime people, what you're feeling about this second part of this sword art. If you're keeping up with it, if you are enjoying it, or if you're just one of the OGs that check out your boys' videos because you know I need the support, I appreciate you. So with all that being said, I will talk to you soon. And with all that being also said, I will be changing up my schedule here soon, and I hope the people that do leave, thank you, and the people that stay, I really, really don't know how to thank you enough, but by making more content, getting you guys this information as soon as possible that I can. So, peace.